Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We made it to the weekend. It is Friday. U.S. House Speaker Mike Johnson is in Alaska. He's rallying behind Congressman Nick Begich.
But the entire event happened behind closed doors. And outside the event, protesters calling for change and chants for Bill Hill, an independent running for Congress. Now, on both sides of the aisle, Alaskans had different thoughts on what the speaker's appearance means for this race.
So they're doing everything they can to prop up Nick Begich and Dan Sullivan, and they're worried.
I think it shows not only that Congress is behind him and that he's actually being very effective in office, and the speaker's coming here to help him. I think that says a lot.
And our political reporter Will Courtney was at the protest. He'll have much more tonight, including reaction from the Hill. That'll be on the late edition.
When there are decisions that I have to make that I believe are in Alaska's best interest, I will stand up for those, despite where the president may or may not weigh in. That's my obligation, is to the people of Alaska, not necessarily to the president.
But conceptually.
Now in Washington, D.C. Senator Lisa Murkowski defends her decision today to oppose Todd Blanche's Attorney General nomination. She joins Maine's Susan Collins as the only two Republicans to vote in opposition. Murkowski cited concerns over the DOJ's handling of the Jeffrey Epstein files, a sweeping tax audit immunity deal for the Trump and his family, and a proposed $1.8 billion fund intended to compensate Trump allies.
This narrowed the path for Blanche's confirmation, but ultimately he's gathered all the votes that he needs for confirmation after Louisiana GOP Bill Cassidy announced that he would back the nominee.
Well, as Alaskans prepare to go to the polls this month, our political reporter Will Courtney is going on the record with 13 of the 17 candidates for governor.
And he asked them a very simple question. What does it mean to be Alaskan?
And what does it mean to be Alaskan?
To be an Alaskan means you know and understand that the harshness of this place is worthwhile because of the opportunity that is available to us.
I think that means to have a lot of pioneering spirit, a lot of just, we can get out and do this.
It means to be lucky. It means to be very fortunate.
I think it's the freedom that Alaskans enjoy.
I think it means you care about your neighbors and you care about the future of this state.
Optimism and focused on the next generation.
Strong, independent, hard-thinking, strong-willed.
Somebody can bear up under hardships. Somebody's not afraid of challenges. Someone whose spirits can stay high despite darkness.
What it means to be Alaskan is believing that there is hope and that there is a future for this state.
Oh man, it means we are fiercely independent. We moved to Alaska for those reasons, like fiercely independent, self-sufficient, we're accountable.
To enjoy God's beauty and the freedom that we have in Alaska.
And that, of course, is just part of our 30-minute conversation with the 13 candidates.
We have those full conversations on our website and our free streaming apps.
Meantime, in Anchorage, we're preparing for a pretty sizable event this weekend. The Arctic Thunder Air Show kicks off tomorrow morning.
And that's right, but what's the weather like? Chief Meteorologist Melissa Fry joins us now from Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson with a look at conditions. Melissa, how's it looking?
Yeah, you know the weather is going to be fantastic. That is true this year as well. And I just have to tell you, we've had so much fun out here. We got a sneak peek of the Blue Angels in the air, and it was incredible. You can see them parked here on the airstrip, ready to go for tomorrow's big event. There they are, lined up 1 through 6. The U.S. Navy Blue Angels, first time they've been in Alaska since 2016. And this is the first time we have ever seen this particular aircraft. These are the F-18 Super Hornets, a new class that they are flying since 2020, and they are incredible. The teamwork, the precision, it's just amazing. It's that heart pumping for sure. So one of just the many acts that you can see coming up this weekend for J-Bear's Arctic Thunder Open House. You can also, of course, see the Golden Knights to the Leapfrogs. You can see civilian acts that they have here. and then everything, the best of the Air Force, the Army, and the Alaska National Guard. Pretty impressive what they are doing out here. So when we look at the weather conditions, yeah, the sunshine is back and it's looking pretty nice. We're going to hold on to mostly sunny conditions into the weekend. Temperatures a little cooler to start in those upper 50s, but climbing through the day. So here's my advice to you. If you're coming out here tomorrow, first of all, grab the layers, but through the afternoon, it's nice and warm. You'll probably want the shades. You'll probably want sunscreen and water. Bring those things with you. But we have all that information on our website about what you can and can't bring here to base coming up this weekend. And we'll show you more of what's here tonight coming up here in just a few minutes.
All right, Maverick, we'll see you later. Looking forward to it. Fairbanks has been chosen to host the Arctic Winter Games in March of 2028. They're bringing the athletes from around the world up to interior Alaska.
The Golden Art City last hosted the games in 2014. A display outside the Carlson Center commemorates the occasion. Now there's a year and a half to plan for the arrival of athletes, their families, tourists, and spectators. Hosting the event is expected to cost $6 million, involve 2,000 volunteers to help run things smoothly. Now, at the same time, organizers expect the games to bring in $8 million in revenue to that area, along with community pride.
The community still remembers how big of a success it was. It's upwards of 7,000 people that are going to come into our community, 2,000 of those being athletes from around the circumpolar north. And we've got the facilities, we've got the community ready to step up and do it, and we're really excited about it.
Big deal for sure. And on Monday, organizers are scheduled to meet with a representative from the Arctic Winter Games International Committee to sign the official agreements.
And still ahead, a quick escape at the national park. One family shares their close encounter with a whale.
And 907 Friday continues with a very messy fight. It's a matchup between a bear and its sworn Alaskan enemy coming up. Last week, a family survived a terrifying boat capsize when a whale ran into them, sending them sprinting to escape.
Now, Tania Lewis, her husband, and her children were out on the Glacier Bay when they heard a loud thud that happened around midnight. Water flooded the boat, and the Lewis family knew they had to leave quickly.
We barely had time to grab a bag that had our sleeping bags and a little bit of emergency equipment that I usually carry with me whenever I'm in the backcountry, including radios. Yeah, and then I think the hardest part, besides the boat sinking suddenly in the middle of the night, was that the whale also swamped our dinghy.
You talk about unnerving. Whoa. The family made it safely, thankfully, to shore, where they were picked up in the morning by the Coast Guard around 6:30. Lewis said the damage from the whale to the ship's hull is repairable. As for the whale, hasn't been found yet, but the family is looking into getting DNA samples tested so they can identify it.
And we continue our coverage of 907 Friday with the battle between two bears and a dumpster.
It is all part of an Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center project that tests a student-made trash can against one of its most sworn Alaskan enemies, that's the brown bear. Our Joe Allgood was there for this very unique event.
Well, you can see behind me there's a dumpster in the bear enclosure at the Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center, and one of the local residents is checking it out. That dumpster is filled with all sorts of goodies, salmon and peanut butter and jelly, things that bears want to eat. And the reason is because they're testing this dumpster for its bear resistance qualities. It was taken by Kodiak High School students and reinforced with all sorts of different materials. And after doing all that, they brought it up here. They've dropped it in the enclosure filled with food, and the bears are now trying to get inside.
This is the third year we've tested it. The first year, it didn't take the bear too long to get into it. Last year, they spent about 30 to 45 minutes trying to get in without success, and we needed to get a little bit more handling time. So we brought it back this year.
Once the test is done, they're going to remove this dumpster from the bear habitat and see if they were able to do any damage to it, what that was, and see what they can learn from it. We'll have more of that tonight on the late edition. Joe Allgood, Alaska's news source.
It's like a reverse show in Las Vegas, trying to get out and
Exactly.
trying to get in there.
Thanks for listening. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcast from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's News Source app.